All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back for another deep dive. If this is your first time, well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. But if you've been with us before, we like to really get into some interesting stuff.
We do.
And today, we are diving back into the crypto world, ready to see what's new.
Absolutely. It's a wild world out there and always something new to discover. Have you heard about this move by Marathon Digital?
Marathon Digital, fill me in.
So they're planning to raise like a huge amount of money, $2 billion.
Wow, $2 billion. That's a lot of cash. What's the game plan there?
Well, it's all about Bitcoin, right? They want to use that money to buy up even more Bitcoin on top of what they already have. And get this, they're already sitting on over 46,000 BTC.
Seriously, 46,000. That's a pretty bold move, especially with the halving coming up, right? That's what makes it so interesting. Mining's about to get a whole lot more expensive, less profitable, especially for the smaller players. So Marathon, they're basically saying, we're going long, we're going big, and we're ready for whatever comes next.
It's like they're doubling down, even with the uncertainty.
Exactly.
So big moves in mining, but what about the ETF landscape? Things have been, well, a bit mixed, haven't they? We had that 10-day streak of inflows for Bitcoin ETFs, and then poof, it ended.
Yeah, it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin itself, it's been a bit of a rocky start to the year, potentially its worst Q1 performance since 2018. But here's the thing, and this is where things get interesting. While Bitcoin ETFs stalled, Ethereum ETFs have actually been seeing net inflows.
Oh, really? That is interesting. So is it a shift in sentiment, maybe?
Perhaps. And, Grayscale's actually leading the charge on this, which could indicate that big institutional investors are starting to diversify a bit more, beyond just Bitcoin.
So maybe Ethereum's looking a little more attractive right now, especially with all the upgrades and developments happening in its ecosystem. It's not just the OG crypto anymore, right?
Right. It's evolving, and investors are taking note.
But one thing that's, well, not exactly evolving is the overall trading volume. It's taken a pretty big hit, hasn't it? Like a dramatic drop.
Yeah, we're talking about a 70% decrease since that peak we saw after the election. It's almost like the energy just fizzled out.
So what does that tell us usually? A drop that's significant?
It often points to a rise in market uncertainty. Traders are hesitant, maybe waiting for a clearer sign of where things are headed. The crypto market's always had its ups and downs. Yeah. And this could just be a natural cooling off period after a period of heightened activity.
Makes sense. Now, let's rewind a bit back to, let's just say a less than stellar moment in crypto history. Remember FTX?
Oh, yeah. How can we forget?
Well, some potentially good news on that front. They're finally starting to make those creditor payouts, which is a huge step forward for a lot of people who got caught in the fallout.
Right. A massive $11.4 billion set to be distributed starting May 30th. It's been a long and painful process for so many, so these payouts, while they won't make everyone whole, at least they offer a tangible sign of progress, a step towards some kind of resolution.
It's definitely a positive development, a step in the right direction. Now, on the topic of potential future controversies, there's this Trump-backed stablecoin, WLFI, that has senators raising concerns. They've even sent letters to the Fed and the OCC talking about potential conflicts of interest and regulatory overreach. It's like the worlds of politics and crypto are colliding.
It definitely highlights the increasing scrutiny when you have political figures directly endorsing financial products, especially in a space as sensitive and rapidly evolving as crypto. The senators' concerns probably center around the potential for these endorsements to unfairly tilt the playing field or even influence regulatory decisions.
So it's about maintaining a level playing field, ensuring transparency, and really just figuring out how to regulate this new financial frontier fairly and effectively. It's a tricky balance for sure.
It is. And speaking of navigating the regulatory landscape, did you see Sonic Labs is shifting gears with their stablecoin?
No, what's happening there?
So they were initially focused on a USD algorithmic stablecoin, but now they're pivoting to one pegged to the UAE dirham. It's an interesting move, maybe strategic, considering the upcoming launch of the digital dirham in the UAE.
So maybe they're trying to get ahead of the curve, find a more favorable regulatory environment, or tap into a new market. It's a reminder that this whole stablecoin space is still very dynamic with lots of experimentation and adaptation happening.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
For sure. Now, shifting gears to a more positive note, let's talk about Avalanche and Gelato. They're launching these enterprise-focused sovereign chains, basically offering plug-and-play blockchain solutions for businesses.
Yeah, it's all about making blockchain more accessible and reliable for institutions, right? If we want to see widespread adoption, we need solutions that are easy to deploy and customize for different business needs.
So it's about moving beyond the hype and speculation and really focusing on those practical, real-world applications. It makes you wonder if this could be the catalyst for a new wave of adoption, a shift from crypto as an investment to crypto as a technology that can transform how we do business.
It's definitely a possibility. But remember, adoption isn't happening at the same pace everywhere. Like, there's been some analysis suggesting that Bitcoin adoption in the EU is actually lagging behind other regions.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, it seems like a combination of factors, like fragmented regulations across the EU, a more conservative approach to financial innovation,
Right.
and perhaps even lower retail demand compared to other areas.
So it shows how important regulatory clarity and, even cultural factors can be in shaping how quickly crypto takes root in different parts of the world.
For sure.
Now, back to the tech side of things for a moment. Ethereum's core developers are forging ahead with full EOF in the Fusaka fork, and they're doing it even though some developers have voiced concerns about the complexity of it all.
That's a pretty strong signal that they're committed to their long-term vision for Ethereum. They're willing to tackle these intricate technical challenges, even if it means pushing the boundaries of what's currently possible.
So it's about pushing the boundaries, expanding the capabilities of the network, and laying the groundwork for a more scalable, efficient, and robust Ethereum ecosystem. It's a reminder that this technology is constantly evolving, constantly being refined and improved.
Absolutely. And, amidst all the market ups and downs and the tech deep dives, it's good to remember the human side of crypto, too. Like, remember how CZ stepped up and donated a bunch of BNB for disaster relief in Thailand and Myanmar after the recent earthquake?
Oh yeah, that was really awesome to see. It shows the power of this community to come together and make a real difference.
It's a reminder that crypto is about more than just numbers on a screen. It's a global community, and when disaster strikes, people are ready to step up and help.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. Mining moves, ETF flows, regulatory hurdles, tech upgrades, even a bit of crypto philanthropy. It just goes to show how much is happening in the world of digital assets. It's certainly never dull, is it?
Not at all. And all these interconnected developments are shaping the future of crypto in ways we're only beginning to understand.
Exactly. So, as we wrap things up, here's a thought-provoking question for all of you listening. With all these rapid changes and developments, what single factor do you think will be the biggest game changer for mainstream cryptocurrency adoption? It's a big question and one that's worth pondering. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and remember, there's always more to explore, so until next time, stay curious. And hey, while you're at it, why not check out some of our past deep dives? You never know what fascinating insights you might discover.